Test, test, 1, 2. Hey, folks, we're live. Ooh, a little bit further over. Might have to move the camera because it's clearly. Yeah, let's shift that because I've been finding I'm migrating more and more. Yeah, I'll probably do. Yeah, I've been migrating more and more to that side of the screen. So, better to have the camera kind of centralize me a little bit more. But enough of that. Hope you've all been doing well. Hope it's been a good week so far. It's Wednesday now. Time for some game dev related stuff. Let's go turn this music down a little bit. As nice as it is, don't need it quite as loud. It's just there as a background filler. Alright, let's bring all my windows back up. There we go, it's just in the background now. So break the silence as it is. But yeah, it's been a good week so far. Can't complain. Looking forward to doing more work on this. Like, anytime I'm not at my computer, I'm thinking about doing work on this project. So I'm happy to do this on Wednesdays and try and get as much done as I can. So we'll switch over and have a look at where we were last time. We were making this gate. Follow on SoundCloud Red Coat. How's it going, Jeffrey? I completely forgot about SoundCloud. Yeah, and there's some spoon-fed things I tend to forget. I need to open SoundCloud. It's been a while since I've been on SoundCloud. Quite liking this music. This is a Fury of the Highlands. Scottish bagpipe music stuff. Nice. Yeah, Fury of the Highlands, Celtic metal war cry with bagpipes and violin. I'm always a fan of like folk metal. Like putting traditional music into metal genres. I'm not entirely sure what's up with this our guy here. He seems to be inverted. Like all the textures are on the wrong way round. Doesn't really matter because they're not important to the whole thing. They're the surface scaling. In fact, I could probably hide them. And just work on the actual stone circle. Now, it's this stone at the top I want to do a bit more work with. It's a little bit too smooth for my liking. It's the right kind of thing, but not quite. And this is where it helps if you draw these things beforehand, then go off your own drawings. But this is more of a feeling I had in my head. Let's turn that music down in my ear. It's quiet on the stream, but it's still loud in my ear. Yeah, I'm not sure if you saw in the festivals channel on my Discord, I posted a link to a YouTube video from Download Festival. Not one of mine, but one recorded at Download. Of a couple of cool DJs that I've been following for a while. Quite unusual for Download, because Download's really can seem to be like rock, metal, punk, alternative. But these guys, these DJs, are kind of just alternative, generally speaking. But they like to put the rave spin on it, bit of hardcore, bit of hard dance. Unfortunately, Nix and I were only there for a short time because we were both tired. This was like past midnight, so it's like, we'll stay as long as we can. And it got to, I think it got to about 20 past, half past midnight. And well, we got about a 15-20 minute walk back to the camp. So we kind of called it a day. I would have liked to have stayed. It's a 2-hour set. They went on until 2 a.m. Hopefully next year we both have the energy to enjoy the entire set. Now I've modelled this stone very loosely. Not sure that should be more pointy this way. Let's go into edit mode. Thank you very much. I shall jump on that now. Listen to the new one for upcoming EP, Messiah. I have not actually. I need to do that. I don't want to log in with Facebook really. Trying to avoid logging with Meta accounts on things that I can get away with it. Because you never know whether Meta becomes problematic. It DM'd 2 days ago, yeah. I lose days very quickly. What was the password? Was it this one? Yeah, might have to look it up. It's been a while since I put the password in. Now, it depends if I do something a bit more fancy with this here. Grab those 2 points. Bring that to like the center. maybe, or close to the centre. The texture's not really helping it because it's all stretched. I'll do a quick look up on what my SoundCloud is on here. There's the follow back. Yeah, I'll grab it from there. I'll figure that on this computer. I shall listen to the other stuff soon. What kind of shape do I want to go for? I kind of like, probably needs straightening out a little bit, but I kind of like the way it tapers in there. It's still a bit too flat. The bottom's not too bad. Don't like how sharp that is, so we can bring that in maybe. Can almost make it like an eye, I suppose. Anything being that's a little bit. I feel that needs to kind of. Just swing along those lines. Something like that. I went to help a lady from our dog club put up a parasol she got from my family. We didn't need it in this house. It's 4x4, so very heavy. So it meant a dog. Oh, nice. Very kind of you. A dog pulled my pants down. Oh no, not very nice of a dog. That looks a bit better. I don't mind that it's not completely symmetrical. That gives it a little bit of character. As long as people don't look at it and go, well, it's not symmetrical, what a shoddy job. So the whole point is that it could be carved from actual stone and not some supernatural kind of thing. What I will want to do though is actually looks better than I thought in the sculpture mode. Oops, didn't want to do that. Okay. Well, now we do gonna need to have like a cheat sheet somewhere. So I'll remap the there we go. And use along this line somewhere. So do I need to this is the lady that offered me the crate of LPs I talked about, by the way. Ah, nice. Didn't have time today to check them out. Ah. Only had 20 minutes to fix the parasol, but going there Friday for barbecue. Ooh, nice. It's certainly barbecue season. Yeah, I'm going to have to organise a barbecue myself soon, I think. It's looking a little bit better. Probably need to do something about the about this bit at the front here. Trump slept at the royal palace of my king. He loved it. Oh, I saw, yeah. So it was on the news here that he had a palace to sleep in. But I also saw that they kind of it's like a small child, yeah. It's always ever wanted. He wants to be royalty, doesn't he? So being given a palace to sleep in, where all these dreams came true. Well, at least as far as that's concerned. Yeah, it was showing on the news that basically they treated him like a child, in the sense they said all the things he wanted to hear, and said it in very simple ways so he understood, and then sent him on his way out of the country. And just hope he probably feels that he did a good job. Gotta just pat him on the head and go, there you go, Donald. Everyone loves you, go back to your own country. Hi, Sally Motes, the best emotes. Hey Lisa, how's it going? Current NATO leader is the old Dutch Prime Minister. And it was like the whole thing was like a big plan to make him pro-Europe again. Seemed to have worked, yeah. Because looking at it, there's very strange behaviour. But it seemed to be, he's very fond of the Dutch now, I bet. He goes back in the belief that everyone loves him, basically. I ate mini pancakes with Donya. Nice. I love mini pancakes. Do you have anything with them or just plain pancakes? I always like to have chocolate syrup in my pancakes. Although I've tried to have Biscoff with pancakes. Doesn't quite work. Doesn't quite work as well. I like the flavour of Biscoff and all speculoos kind of flavoured stuff, but didn't work so well in a pancake. Had a bit of powdered sugar on. Nice. Kept it straightforward and simple. Yeah, quite often I'll have sliced banana and chocolate syrup. The last time I had I think it was one of the last times I had a pancake in Amsterdam. It was like a bacon with some kind of soft cheese. It was quite nice. I eat banana as well. Awesome. Don't eat banana. That's fair. I never used to eat bananas. Never used to like them. I like the flavour of bananas, but didn't like the bananas themselves. And as I got older, I went, yeah, bananas aren't too bad, and I just basically eat one every day now. Yes, parents eat them and not like that. Okay. Love apple pancakes. Oh, never had an apple pancake. Hate bananas. That's fair enough. Yeah, never had an apple pancake. I like apple desserts and sort of baked stuff. My mother made a great crumble. Not sure if you have crumbles. It's typically a type of pie where you have all the fruit filling at the bottom. There's no pastry or anything. It's just a bowl of fruit. Yeah, and then you have the stuff on top. So she made an apple. We call it is that crumble tart. Jeffrey's mom makes that way. Oh, nice. Love them. Apple Krumal Tart. Is it Krumel? Krumel. Yeah, we have a rhubarb plants growing in our garden. We've got the long kind of sticks, and it can be quite a sharp flavour on the rhubarb. So mixing it with apples, you have an apple and rhubarb crumble. It was absolutely gorgeous. So we had, just have the crumbly stuff on there, and it kind of just crisps up. Very good stuff. But yeah, I love kind of apple tart things like that. I've never had with pancakes, so I might have to try with pancake. But yeah, I love putting cinnamon with apple. Like if I have like oats, if I have oats with milk, and then sliced apple, and then I put cinnamon in there. That's always nice. You got to watch out how you eat the rhubarb. Right, some parts poison. Yes, the leaf, massive leaves. Like the leaves are like this. You can't eat the leaves. They are poisonous. But you chop the leaf off and just have the stem, the stalk. The stalk is nice, but you can't eat the leaves. But yeah, the leaves like this big, and Damien will sleep underneath the plant because it's like nice and shady, like basically like a palm tree for cats. It's this huge kind of leaves, and he just sleeps under. Nice, yeah. But yeah, if you took the leaf and kind of ground it up into some kind of liquid, you could probably serve it to your enemies, but other than that, it's probably not very good. But yeah, you just end up with a lot of leaf that you just throw into the compost recycling, because it's no good for people. I shall ask next time we harvest the plant, because the plant grows quickly anyway, so you just kind of chop all the stalks and you leave some stalks left so the plant can survive, but then it just grows more and more stalks, and you just end up with like piles of sticks. Too many for one family to eat, so we usually take some to the neighbours. But you can buy like 5 or 6 sticks in a supermarket for, I want to say like £10. And you think, well, our plant produces more than that in one go. And you don't have to pay anything. The thing just grows. We don't have to water it. That's a lot, yeah. That we get it for free. So don't have to water it, don't have to feed it. It's expensive, yeah. So we never buy it, always grow it. So they're making a bit of money on that. Have I had white asparagus? Not white, no. I've had a lot of the green, regular green one. Dutch delicacy. Ooh, how does it differ from the green asparagus? Is it like a better flavour, better texture? A lot better tasting, people say. Oh, I've never seen it. I don't think it's sold here. If it is, it might be sold in special shops. Might want to unwrap your UVs on the stone because it looks a bit stretched. Yeah, it does a bit. How's it going? E0101. Good to see you. Welcome to stream. Thank you for the tip. Yeah, I try to stretch it out. It's a bit of a. I might have to because I've changed the shapes since. I might have to like do a new unwrap and do it again. Yeah, because I've been moving the vertices around. They are regular ones but have been grown in very specific conditions. Our country famous for them. Most foreigners really like them and want to eat them when they're here. Oh, I should keep an eye at them. Could just add some more vertices so unwrapping is easier. True. It needs a bit more better shaping E because it's a bit too angular at the moment. But all these other stones, I basically took a set of pre-made stone assets and just placed them. This one I've made myself, so it's not quite as not quite as stone-like as the rest of them. But I want it to look special and unique. But I'm not happy with the shape yet. We only need them on some days a year in spring, but they had some for the NATO leaders as well. Alright. I suppose, yeah, we're serving up a Dutch delicacy of white asparagus. Yeah, not sure if it's worth unwrapping the stone yet, if I'm going to change the vertices again. I'm mostly happy with that shape, but it still doesn't feel right. So I want it to be like a prominent feature of the stone gate, but not to look too out of place. But obviously the gem being in it is going to be sort of standing out anyway. But I feel I probably need to do a bit more sculpting on it. Add some vertices, do some sculpting, make it into a nice rocky centre stone thing. Oh, okay, sense picture. Let's have a look at picture. Oh, right. No, I've never seen those before. No, I might have to look and see if they are sold in the UK. If not, next time I'm in the Netherlands, I shall keep an eye out for some white asparagus. I just don't know. Like I try to do some tapering, and I think I just need to sculpt it better. We have special restaurants for them. I don't like them, by the way, but my mother and Lisa love them. Ah, that's cool. Yeah, I don't necessarily like what I've done here. I have to mention that I am not overly experienced with Blender. This will probably be the third or fourth thing I've made in Blender. So it's still needs a bit more practice. Hence why Wednesdays are now kind of Blender streams, just to up my time in Blender. I don't think they're discussing anything, but since they are so special and quite expensive, it would be a waste if they also got them from me, since I don't really care for them. That's fair. Yeah, you enjoy what you enjoy instead, and everyone else can have the asparagus. I think you maybe bring that down a bit. Bring these 2 points. It is still very pointy. From what I see on the internet, they are unique for my country. Yeah, mostly get spinach in that case. My favourite vegetable. I love spinach. Now, you saw the recipe I posted earlier. Was it earlier yesterday? Of the cream spinach chicken. I plan to try and make some of that tomorrow. Yes, did. Because I've mostly got everything in stock. I've got the spinach, I've got mushroom, I've got chicken, I have butter. I have one type of cheese. The recipe recommends multiple types of cheese, so I might have to go and buy more cheese. I need to get more bacon as well. I've eaten all the bacon. But I should make that for tomorrow night. I know there's a... There's something that allows you to pull 2 points towards each other. I can't remember how you do that. So we'll bring them both in, but at equal amounts. So a lot of this I've done manually, but I do know there's a way of doing stuff more symmetrically without putting a mirror modifier on it. It's not scaling. Do you scale it? Do it that way? Kind of. Going to be quite. These ones I'll just bring up a bit. I do feel that these probably need to be, like this section here should really be part of that section. So kind of lose this bit here and bring that up. So what I've done now makes it quite a unique shape. I think I do need to kind of divide this a little bit. Do a loop cut across here. We do the same on the other side. That means I can actually make this less angular and bring that up a bit. Something to that effect. Probably want to modify these stones so they're not as there's a chunk missing off the side of it. I can probably bring that side in a little bit. It's not completely symmetrical, but as I say, hopefully it adds more character to it not being symmetrical, because it doesn't look as artificial. I want it to, the problem is that I want it to look engineered, but still kind of natural. And finding that middle ground between like engineered shape and sort of a natural kind of formation. Because obviously all these rocks here are more natural kind of looking. Like they've just been selected and maybe chipped at and shaped a little bit. But for the most part they look very much their natural form. Whereas the top stone has more power applied to it and it's more of a focal point. I reckon this... We go back into object mode. How does that look now? It looks a bit better. Still don't know how angular that is. But it's probably more noticeable. Yeah, that needs to come in for sure. Should have definitely done some kind of mirroring on this to make it symmetrical. You are British and you love tea, correct? And cheese, yes. This is also correct. I think that's in line with that. That should be further down. But did you know that there is people that combine the two? Cheese in tea? That sounds like treason to me, that does. Like, it sounds punishable by locking up in the tower. People drink iced tea with a layer of soft cheese on top. Oh. I don't know about that. I like my cheese to be not so drinkable. I can't even imagine. I know, like, putting milk in tea kind of gives it that taste of dairy. I really messed up at the back here. What I might have to do is delete half the shape and then mirror it. We get this the right hand side looking how I want it. Also, Tibetans drink tea that's made with thick butter with salt. Still tea, but tastes more like cheese soup. Ooh. Now I've heard about putting butter into coffee. And I've heard about putting salt into tea. Because apparently the salt brings out the sweetness. A friend asked me to write, "Did you know?" and had it to find a topic. Ask ChatGPT and tell me there's cheese tea. Ah. Interesting. Cheese tea. No, I don't think I can get on board with cheese tea. Never ever want to try it now. Like, I don't mind the idea of putting a small bit of butter into coffee rather than milk. But I feel too much would be a bit greasy. And I don't know about salt in tea. Maybe salt in coffee. So again, coffee's a strong flavour, so it can deal with additional flavours. Only drink black coffee and tea as well. Oh. I tried drinking black tea It does, for me, it just feels like it's a bit too... The flavour just... It's not to say strong, it definitely feels like it's missing something. I don't have sugar in anything. I don't have sugar in tea or coffee. But I like to have the smoothness of a dairy in my tea and coffee. I will never drink coffee with cheese. It's a thing. Don't want it touched by any dairy or sugar or anything. Coffee can go well with milk, but only if it's latte, cappuccino, or iced coffee for you. Yeah, I love all those. Like, you can give me a cappuccino, latte, or iced coffee. Love all those. And then a regular coffee with a bit of milk, I'm good as well. If it's just lungo espresso, I prefer black. Yeah, espresso's supposed to be black anyway, really. I don't really drink espresso very often. Like, if I'm going to, I need like a good quick drink, and you add milk to it, it slows it down. But yeah, I like Nick's. Nick's is a big fan of latte. So usually, if I'm buying Nick's a coffee, it's a latte, and if I'm buying Nick's a latte, I buy a latte. Otherwise, I go for a cappuccino. Yeah, we had some lattes at Download. There was a coffee stand like 2 minutes walk from where our tent was. So yeah, once we set up our tent, Nick's passed out in the heat and has had a nap. So after letting Nick's nap for a bit, I went to the coffee place, bought a couple of iced lattes. And no, were they ice? No, they ran out of ice, I think. Did they run out of ice? No, they did have ice. Sorry, here. Another place ran out of ice. So yeah, we had iced lattes. And that was quite nice in the heat. But most places run out of ice after the first couple of days, so it was only like straight lattes. Still very nice though. It's just the loop cut. Just slice this thing in half. Tea with a with a side of cheese. Yeah, I'll go for that. Like, if I had a cup of tea and a piece of cheese, I'm quite good with that. But not in the tea. I quite happily have a side of cheese with anything, to be honest. Doesn't matter what it is. Yeah, let's lose those two, and we'll lose the Lycosphere. There's probably tea that goes great with cheese, just like other drinks. True. I know there's certain wines that are recommended with certain cheeses. So there's bound to be a blend of tea. Can you pronounce... No dear. Do not anger me. Most of the time, I think sweets like chocolate goes better with tea. Yeah, sweets definitely... tea and sweets. Like, typically we have like a sugary or sweet biscuit. To go with tea. I do like coffee and dark chocolate because they go well together. Like a piece of dark chocolate and coffee. I'm going to try and pronounce that cheese. Is it Gouda? Gouda? Because the English would pronounce it as Gouda. Is it Cow? Can't do the G. Gouda. Is that close enough? Again, I was distracted. Gouda. Is that close? Yes. Awesome. Near perfect. I'll take it. Probably needs a little bit more growl on the G. This is how I met your mother episode I watched. I had like 19 times I said the American way. Was foaming at the mouth at the end of the episode, yeah. Interesting results. Cool, we've got half a stone. Now we just need to get all these vertices lined up here now. Not quite what I was going for. Oh, interesting. Not what I was going for. Let's do a quick Google. So we align all these. How to align vertices. To align vertices in Blender, you can use scaling with axis constraints, 3D cursor, or the loop tools add-on. Scaling involves selecting the vertices, pressing the S to scale, choosing the axis X, Y, or Z, then pressing 0 to align them along the axis. So select the scale. Constraint to axis. Something weird's gone on there. It's not quite what I was after. Pretty cool you can do that though. That looks better. So you learn things like that. So you scale along one axis only, and then you zero it, and it just lines them all up. Cool. I want to do a where is it? There we go. Modifiers, add modifier. Where is it? Mirror. Let's close this up a little bit. Cool. Now, whatever I do on one side will happen on that side as well. Let's try that again. Yeah. I suppose. Put a face in there for now. Let's work on the back as well. Merge the vertices at the last selection. Add a face in there. Bring this in a bit. Bring these two down as well, I think. What we'll need to do is make sure center. I think it probably is actually. Hey, thank you for the sub on YouTube. Much appreciate that. Apologies if that's a bit delayed. Kyle Bood, how's it going? Thank you for that sub. Sometimes YouTube subs are delayed on my alerts. Good to have you here. Let's refresh that screen there so I can see what's going on. Kind of liking this stone a bit more now. It's looking okay. The icosphere, I feel is that center? No, it is close enough to center. I feel that's not though. So I can see that triangle there being slightly off. That's better than it was. Let's bring these two stones back in. How's that look with that? It's looking better than it was at the start of the stream. Drop that to the bottom there. Would like to apply there we go, apply the modifier. Now I can unwrap that now. Never remember the shortcut key for unwrapping. I'll have to do a quick Google. 2 6. Unwrap UV. Object mode, yes. Select the mesh you want to unwrap. Press tab to enter edit mode. And press A, select all vertices. Ah, there you are. Marking seams. Edge selection, switch to edge selection, press 2. Carefully select edges you want to act as seam. These are cuts. Press Ctrl E to mark seam. And then right click to choose mark seam. So let's do that. mark seam. Do the same on this side. Mark seam. This will be easiest, probably. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Mark seam. I definitely want Control E and mark seam. Okay. So a quick check. So once we've done that, press U to unwrap. Okay. Okay, that seems pretty well unwrapped. I would like to overlap some of this. Not quite what I was going in for, but let's do this for the moment. Line these two together. Drop this out the side for the moment and grab this as well. I suppose, can I rotate this? So I get to match up with this one. That's pretty close. And which of these parts are actually... I suppose that's all the bottom bit, isn't it? That's the top bit. No, it's going to be the bottom bit, that one. Okay, so that's all one section there. Let's move that to the side. Okay, so that's our sections we've made. So in theory, these two are the two bits you can't see. They should be the same width as that. So if I rotate these now, be right back, dog walk, okie dokie. See you shortly. Hello, how are you? I'm enjoying the chill stream while also working on my game assets. Nice. Hi, Kyle. Pretty good, thank you for asking. Working on some assets as well. Yeah, it's I like streaming this kind of stuff because firstly, I get to talk to other people that are also doing this kind of thing and other people that find it interesting. And secondly, if I don't stream it, I'll go, I'm bored, I'll walk away now and find something lazy to do. Despite me enjoying this, it's easier to just have people to talk to or listen to. But what kind of assets are you working on, Carl? I'd like to expand all of this to be on the same scale. So reline all this up because the player's not going to see all these sides of textures at the same time. So I can line all of this. Select all that and scale it. Nope. That's rotation, not scale. Probably need to bring the scaling down a little bit. I like how it automatically kind of tiles the texture. That's probably about the same scaling as the surrounding stones. Yeah, that looks in keeping. Might not be the final texture I use, but it's in there for now. Currently doing an abandoned hospital scene, so I'm working on props like beds, strips, tables, trays, hospital equipment and such. Nice. That's pretty cool. You're aiming for like a horror game or like a mystery type game? So you usually have that. Abandoned hospitals are quite kind of a creepy scene. But then equally, it could be kind of some kind of mystery, like what happened here. Or there's other types of games, I suppose. That could be a war zone. But there's one or two reasons why you have an abandoned hospital. Typically, they're creepy scenes. I find in most games that this hospital's been abandoned, then there's some of the patients are still there, but something happened, and kind of Silent Hill type stuff. I'm aiming for like fantasy settings with inspiration from old English, Viking, Norse, yeah, kind of old English, Viking, Norse kind of feeling with magic. So I've visited a few areas of the UK which are still have evidence of old kind of structures, and it's very inspiring to go, ooh, this will kind of fit in, to try and make it feel more realistic and not just here's a weird thing that we explain because it's just another world. I was always into COD Zombies growing up, so I'm making a small scope clone of the game in Unreal. First map being a hospital one. Nice, that's cool. I was never really into COD, but COD Zombies I like the idea of. Awesome. I hope that goes well and you get the results you're after. Yeah, I'm making these assets for Unity because I'm more familiar with the C# language, so I jumped into Unity. I've already got like a basic. I've got a game on the go at the moment, which is just me trying things, which it turned into a full game. It was just me kind of trying to make my first game kind of thing. But I've decided to keep that to my Friday streams, and on Wednesday start making assets for a game that I've been designing for 2 years. Because I need to make a start at some point. Yeah, I do like Unity. Yeah. I was using it for 6 years, but decided on learning something new with Unreal Engine. Nice. Good for you. Yeah, I'd love to learn a bit of Unreal as well, but I feel I'm already confused switching between Unity and Blender. If I start adding Unreal into it as well, I feel I completely lose the plot. So I'll stick with these two, and once I know Unity and Blender like the back of my hand, I'll probably jump into Unreal to see what that can offer. I've seen there's a recent update in Unreal as well, which looks impressive. So I'll like to see what that's like. What game are you working on? So the current game on my Friday streams is a game. Basic premise is you throw objects at buildings. Once the building's been hit enough times, the building falls down. Next level. Kind of like Angry Birds, but with less physics. And more kind of medieval uprising. So you have a trebuchet, you have rocks, but as you go on you can unlock other things that aren't rocks to throw at the buildings. And that's basically it. And the game mechanics is that the building has a invisible grid system applied to the building, and you have to hit and crack all the places on the building, and then it will crumble. So it's kind of like a puzzle in some ways. Like you have to work out all the places you need to hit. But I do have a hint system which kind of flashes at you which parts of the building you've not hit yet. But that's my give it a go, try making a game. This one I've been playing for 2 years, which I'm making assets for now. It's kind of like a top-down-ish. So we can try and get the angle. So the angle will probably be about this sort of side. This kind of. Let's find a. Move the camera a bit. Yeah. So looking down on the assets and the player from this kind of angle, it'll be an adventure RPG light. So elements of RPG without getting too in depth. Too many RPGs make it into like a management game because there's so many elements you need to work on. I just want the basics of an RPG just to give you something to aim for. With inspirations from older Zelda games, a little bit of the older Pokemon games. Not necessarily creature collecting, but having animal companions. And just exploring different worlds. And this is the key to exploring other worlds. I'm also a big sci-fi fan, so put those two things together, you might understand the inspiration of a big circle that takes you to vast new places. But I thought, a fantasy setting with a similar theme would be quite cool. I thought as this is the pivotal point of the entire game mechanic, of the game that progresses the game, I need to kind of have this stone gate as my first kind of. This is going to be on the front cover kind of thing. The stone gate. So this is what will be key to the player's adventure. Both games sound fantastic. I like the style of the asset. Oh, thank you. I'm not trying to go too low poly, but I don't want it to be too detailed. Like I like simplistic looking games. Like I like the way that a lot of games on Nintendo look, where they're not too overcomplicated. But I want more detail than say a Mario or a Breath of the Wild type game where it's just bold colours. I want more detail than that. But I don't want it to be like hyper realistic. So I'm going for something that's got good detail, good kind of shapes. You can see what's going on. But it's not. This looks like it's like rendered on a supercomputer. So I'm hoping this is kind of the nice middle ground, but it looks detailed enough, but it's not. I'm not going to break a computer to kind of render it. So going for minimal poly as opposed to low poly, I suppose, in some ways, if that's such a thing. Lower poly. But I think I've got the right amount of kind of angles and shapes in here to give the impression without going too detailed. And the textures I've used, I think, add enough to it without me shaping every rock. I think it's good balance to find the low poly sometimes a bit too boring and flat, but also high poly, time consuming. Going for mid-range poly if that's the thing. Yeah, I like that. Mid-range. We'll go with that name. That to have hyper realistic games like a solo dev or small teams, they can't do that. You need a full-time texture and model department to get hyper realistic these days. And you say, yeah, low poly games just they feel cheap. It's not to take away from the indie devs that make low poly games, but I feel you've missed an opportunity to put a bit of art and craft into the game. And you take games like Minecraft and Roblox, and yeah, they're very low poly and the gameplay is very simplistic and repetitive and enjoyable. But there's a lot of that now. There's a lot of indie games which are low poly and simple gameplay. But I want to be able to put a bit of art and design. So I enjoy art and design. Like the idea and how I want this gate to look and to behave, because this gate isn't going to be static. It's going to have a kinetic element to the gate, and you can't. I don't think you can get away with doing it too low poly. It needs to have things happening. You need to be able to see detail. So all of these stones, as a little insight, all these stones will detach from the gate when magic surges through. So I need to do a bit of animation where all the stones kind of move apart from each other and effects happen and energy surges, and kind of like shows you that this is not just a stone circle but a doorway beyond your current space. So that's going to need a bit of detail and a bit of work. So it's going to be my main focus, and then it gives me opportunity to go, okay, decorate the area around it, make it interesting, but then opportunities for different biomes without being too sort of dug into one particular theme. So that's kind of my thinking, that I can kind of reuse and re-texture and reshape a basic template set, and they will look different enough, but I can make a set of things and kind of make them more unique for each biome. That's my theory anyway. But this will always look like this, no matter where the player is. If they come across a stone gate, it will look like this stone gate. So it's going to be a key thing, really. I've just noticed, Carl, as well, your profile image Wolverhampton Wanderers. If not, it looks very cool either way. So I only have a very tiny little icon comes up. Yes, it is Wolves fan. Nice. Yeah, I loosely follow Wolves. My father is a massive Wolves fan. Has all the memorabilia, the shirts and everything. Because I loosely follow football, so I will always keep an eye on how they're doing for him. That's pretty cool then. Let's find a little bit more music, because I was only an hour and a half and I've been streaming for an hour 45. Focus music, hack the pulse synthwaves vaporwave. Now I'm ripping music off YouTube, or not off YouTube, but via YouTube. Lo-fi city, retro vibes, nostalgic Japanese. Music heals the heart and blood vessels. That's a bit of a stretch, but maybe it will be enough to... Yeah, as long as you don't need a toilet, this will be fine, I think. Minimise that, bring up my bot again. I'm from the Midlands but living in Yorkshire now, so been a Wolves fan all my life. Awesome. I'm still in the Midlands, just south of Birmingham. A little bit further south from Birmingham. Yeah, I think my family originated from closer to Wolverhampton. But I've always been where I am. That's a nice little gentle music. Right, I think I'm happy. Go back to modelling. I'm happy with the UVs on that. Back to that mode. So save that project before I go too far. I've never been up to Yorkshire. I wouldn't mind going because Yorkshire's got quite a few historical sites as well. I love kind of older kind of communities that you can kind of really feel the history. I think the furthest north east I've been is just south of Newcastle for is it Beamish Living Museum. So went there sort of towards the end of last year. But I've not. That's about as much northeast I've gone. Whitby is where you want to visit then for history. Oh, okay. I shall put that on my list. So I went up to Penrith, just off the M6, and then I travelled across to Beamish. But that's the furthest north I've been, sort of, for actually going somewhere. I've been up to Edinburgh, but only for a flight. So literally drove to Edinburgh, and then got a flight from there. Crazy idea, but I don't really count that as much because we were literally there long enough to catch the plane, and then spent about an hour when we landed coming home. It's nice enough, but I would like to do more northeast. I think if I'm happy generally gate, I want to put more stones. So the red stone at the top, we recopy that stone. We rename that gem underscore red. And can I duplicate object? Awesome. I was thinking every other stone for a gem. Duplicate. So what does that make? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 stones. I think that's about right. Yeah. Now I was thinking generally 7 stones is what you need to activate the gate. As an insight to the plot and how you encounter the first gate in the game, is that one of these stones is missing. Or at least no, 2 of the stones are missing. And one of the first player's quests is to find the 2 missing stones. In which case that then completes the gate, and then the real adventure begins. So it's a good little plot as to having these things. Quick shortcut tip: Shift D duplicate. Awesome, thank you for that, Carl. Yeah, so I'm a novice at this. Well, how quick is that? I'll reposition them a bit better, but that's kind of what I'm going for. Yeah, I did try finding a cheat sheet with the shortcuts, but the cheat sheet didn't give me enough context, because it might say like Shift D duplicate, but it didn't say specifically while highlighting an object in object mode. So it's like, well, how do I use the Shift D? So now I've done a bit more Blender. If I find another cheat sheet or find the one I did download, it should hopefully make more sense to me now. But that's another reason why I want to do Blender streams on Wednesdays, because I was just dipping in and out of Blender for my current project, and I forget Blender by the time I went back to it. So I'm trying to do Blender every week now, just to keep the mind fresh. And again, doing Unity every week keeps me fresh on Unity. Scale Z. Don't think that's what I wanted. Is it not Z? Is it X? I want to lock it to. I don't want to delete. Still got the tip open over here. Align vertices. I suppose that's for vertices, not objects, isn't it? How do I align objects? So a quick look at that. That's it, man. Keep using the tools and you'll get used to it. Cheers. Yeah, I generally pick up these things quite well, but I need to keep doing them. And sort of, if I don't do it constantly, I'll just forget so easily. Align objects. Utilize the Align Objects tool in all the snapping feature. The Align Objects tools. Oh, I suppose I can use Snap, couldn't I? I wonder if the dog of our friend will pull my pants down again Friday. I don't know. Maybe the dog likes pants. You know that it's exactly the second Rottweiler, not my own, that's pulled my pants down. Is it a Rottweiler kind of thing to pull people's pants down? Are they known for it? The other one was when I was wearing bite work arm. Ah, so I thought it would bypass the bite work arm and just go for the pants. No, they're not known for it. Okay. I think Labradors are particularly fond of pulling people's pants. Was using legs. Ah, okay. Not the jaws. Oh, so they kind of just pawed at you. I do have an ArtStation profile if you want to see what asset quality I info. Oh, sure. It might try and block your URL. But if you put spaces between stuff, between the slashes, then it should hopefully allow you for it. I need to sort of take off the URL issue. One from today was 8-year-old male. Nice. Good middle-aged. Well, I say middle-aged. Still fairly young. Yeah, always interested in seeing other people's art. Unless they're trying to sell it to me. There's been too many people who go, hey, how's it going? Buy my art. No. Don't work that way, friends. Average age they get to is 8. Oh, right. So they don't. No, don't sell anything. Ah, no. No, I can trust you, Carl. No, we have a lot of people coming into my stream. That, well, I say people. They're probably sort of people like they're basically the stream equivalent of a call center, like a cold call. So you go, hi, how's it going? What you into? So how long you been streaming for? Would you like to see my portfolio? Still look great, awesome. Nice healthy dog. I feel that's not... So again, I've only roughly placed these stones. I might have to manually adjust these a little. I certainly have to rotate them. They're not letting me put anything close to the link. Ah. I wonder if I can I permit you? See if it'll let me. You don't want to put you in timeout. I don't want to add you as a moderator. Can I? Will it let me do it? I don't want to hide. There's no. Without making you a moderator. Report remove, put user in timeout. I'll share a picture of him, can't find a picture of him alone. So move his owner. So for her privacy, I'll DM. Yeah, fair. Have you got a username on ArtStation or an ID? And I can probably look you up. I don't know how we allow links on. So I'm pretty sure on Twitch you just kind of click and allow people to. Or maybe it's a bot thing. Is it like permit? Yeah, never mind. I haven't really set up sort of permission thing. Okay, Kyber. I shall have a look. Thank you for trying anyway. Oh, that's a handsome boy. That's cool. Good doggo. Right, so let's have a look. ArtStation. Please complete security check to continue. I suppose you can't keep all the bots out. Oh, nice. Ah, there you are. Oh. Oh, those are cool. I like those, Carl. I love the texturing on the metal. If you don't mind, I'm going to post that into my chat as well, in case anyone else wants to see. Always thought males were quite big when I only had Danya. This one is half an oh no. Oh wow. We're not finished growing yet. Thanks man, no probs. I like the texturing, like the old fridge as well. I liked how dirty in texture on that. And of course the wood effect's really cool. Yeah, you've got some nice detail on there. Yeah, I think it's going to be a while before I get to that level of quality. But, you know, it's a bit of practice. Substance Painter is a dream. Yeah, I need to look into these extra texturing tools. Oops. Running out of mouse space there. Yeah, very good work. Thanks for sharing that. I think everyone here is a little bit artistic. They like to kind of like to see people's work. All those models are low poly, and then Substance Painter makes them look a lot better for sure. Wow. I suppose that's the key really, isn't it? You don't need a lot of polygons. You just need to make what you have look good. That these rocks look better for having this rock texture. Now if I just put it on straight on just the object shapes without the texture, it still looks alright. It's basically the same quality as the first 3D Pokemon games, which is kind of the quality I'm going for. But I want more quality, more kind of detail than Pokemon. Pokemon's very basic shapes. Well, I need to bring that slightly closer to the stone. This would be the best, easiest way to. I like the quality you're doing. Thank you. Even the rocks aren't just cubes. They do have some angles to them, but this texture makes it look like they've got a bit more shape to them. I might still change out the rock texture, but I was going through some free texture packs I've got. Alright, that's good enough for now. It gives me the idea of what I'm working with. Let's bring that into the rock a little bit more. Yep, that looks fine. I'm going to change the colour of these gems as well. So the top one will be red. I'm going to mix up the colours, kind of like a rainbow of colours. Don't know if you could see his size well in that picture. In the kitchen though. Kind of. I kind of got a rough idea of his size. But he makes Ozzy look tiny. So that alone, like I know the average size of a cat. Ozzy being a male cat, typically is going to be slightly larger anyway. Maine Coon at that, yeah, of course, they're even bigger. I'm not sure exactly what breed Damien is supposed to be, because he's not your straight he's not a straight breed cat. He's large for naturally for what his size should be. Got a lovely 40 kilogram Staffy cross with a greyhound. Oh, that's an interesting mix. I love Staffies. My partner had a Staffy, a rescue Staffy, for a couple of years. Unfortunately, the last 2 years of her life. But it was, at least we made it a good 2 years. But hopefully we'll get another Staffy at some point. But cross with greyhounds, that must make for a lot of energy in a dog. Staffies go head first into everything at 100 miles per hour as it is. He looks like a panda. Eyes backed, still selling emotes and overlays. Welcome back, Lisa. And Jeffrey's nudes, etc. All the cool features that you can sell. Yes, she is rapid. Yeah, I can imagine. I know Staffies tell you they love you with a head, but just finished eating very good mango. Ooh, now I feel healthy. You gave your body a fruit. It should now be happy and healthy. Eating kiwi. I've not eaten kiwi for ages. I went through a stage of eating kiwi, and I think I had too many kiwis, and then I don't like them again. I had like a kiwi every day as for my lunch, and so I think I just got bored of kiwis. If I had a kiwi now, I think I'll be okay. Eating mango too with a cup of tea. Ooh. See, that's a good compliment for a cup of tea. As we were saying earlier in the stream, cups of tea go well with something sweet. But I don't mind having a piece of cheese alongside a cup of tea. But certainly not in the tea. Cheese tea is just not something that does it for me. I suppose a mango fruit tea could be interesting. I do like some fruit teas.
Epic.
That's epic. Yeah, I do like mango. I can drink tea with everything. I have about 9 cups a day. Nice, that's a lot of tea. What's your favourite tea to go for, Carl? As you're up in Yorkshire, is it a Yorkshire tea, or you're a fan of others? I'm kind of stuck on the biscuit tea at the moment. Yorkshire tea is the only tea. It's good tea. I like a biscuit flavoured tea. I'm quite happy with that placement. Yeah, so rather than having the biscuit with the tea, I have biscuit flavoured tea, and that kind of stops me wanting biscuits as much because it gives like a malty flavour. Yeah, there's so many cups of tea that just aren't the quality. I do drink a lot of green herbal teas too. Nice. Yeah, I've started getting into more herbal teas and green teas. The weirdest one I've come across, that I've actually got a few tea bags because a friend of mine just grabbed some bags out of the box and go, there you go. There's nettle tea. Now it makes sense. You can kind of make tea from nettles, but I didn't realise you can buy them in like a bag, tea bags of nettle tea, and it just tastes very nettle-y, I suppose. So it tastes like you're just drinking plant water, which I suppose tea generally is anyway. And there's supposed to be some kind of health benefit to nettles. But I do like a good fruit tea. Either like a strawberry or berry tea. Drink tea almost every day. Mostly oolong or Owl's Green or Earl Grey. Oh yeah, I think you mentioned Earl Grey before. Yeah, Earl Grey, the favourite tea of Captain Jean-Luc Picard. We're looking at time. 10:15. I'll work on getting these stones in place. Now change the colours and we'll see where we are then. I work in IT, so I end up drinking far too much tea being sat at a desk all day. I can feel that, Carl. IT support and software development is kind of my pseudo title. So on paper I'm just general IT dog's body, but I manage the servers, write the software, fix printers. You know, it's very easy just sat at your desk all day to have tea. I'm usually quite good. Whenever anyone offers me tea, I go, no thanks, I will abstain from tea. Network infrastructure engineer architect. Ooh, nice. So you're definitely an outer part to what I would do. So I'm very much working on the user end of stuff. Like someone say, where's all my emails gone? I can't find any of my emails, and I just tell them to expand their inbox. That's basically my job. But then I do write software. We recently just signing off on a project to replace our time and attendance system to keep track of people's hours. That's taken about 12 months from concept to finish, which is not bad, I suppose. Today I also wrote about 5 bizarre tea stories. One was about a British woman who is addicted to tea. She drinks 100 to 150 cups a day. Wow, that's a lot of tea. I did use the support for 6 years, and then moving into networking, so I don't have so much interact with users. Oh, lucky you, Carl. The most ideal solution in the IT business is just not dealing with people. I'm quite happy not dealing with people. Part of the reason I'm into kind of IT generally, because computers are easier to deal with than people. However, I do get around 40 tickets a day. Oh, don't envy that one. Yeah, I might get about 3 tickets a week. So I'm very lucky. On average, 3 tickets a week. But then some weeks I might get probably 10, plus having to work on projects. Downside working for a global business, yeah. We're fortunately not global, we're just European. And I only do IT for England. We've only got offices in the Midlands and on the South Coast. We do have other offices in Europe, but I don't have to deal with those ones. So I'm fortunate that way, and I can just focus on software stuff and server infrastructure. Offices in Australia, US, Europe, Asia, and now around 18 around the world and growing. Wow. Now what have we got? Midlands, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 in the Midlands. So basically they're my offices that I have to go to in person. And then on the south coast we have 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 4 offices on the south coast that are part of our core business. We have one more office near London that is our sister company that we still have to help, and we've got one in Cornwall which is a sister company which we occasionally have to help, but they're not core offices. They're kind of like, they're part of the group of businesses, but they don't have their own IT, so we have to kind of help out. And it's only me and my manager. There's no other IT. So we're fortunate things basically run themselves for the most part. Try software dev in my spare time with C#, C++. Do have a lot of travel between those sites, so in July I'll be in USA, and then in August, September will be Spain onboarding a new acquisition. Wow, sounds very successful. Yeah, unfortunately, any acquisitions the business does doesn't jump straight in with IT. Like we'll make an acquisition and go, okay, we'll let them run as they are, we'll work out all the behind the scenes, and then maybe if they need to interact between the core business and what they're doing, then we integrate the IT infrastructure. We've just done that with one of our sister companies. We've brought them into our infrastructure, which was a pain because their IP range clashed with another one of our sites, and we had to work around changing our site, one of our site's IP ranges, to be different from theirs because they had more infrastructure on that IP range than we did, so we kind of took the hit and yes, changed the site IP to sort of allow everything to kind of sit. So that was fun. A successful businesses you've probably heard of if you read into the Grenfell Towers. Oh, okay. I can't think of them off the top of my head, but I have looked into Grenfell a little bit. But that's pretty cool. Obviously Grenfell wasn't cool, but business growing is cool. I remember driving past Grenfell after the event, and seeing it in person is quite jarring. It's like, oh, yeah, people were there, weren't they? Kingspan. Ah, okay. I shall keep an eye out for that. It's good to be travelling around. Do you enjoy the travelling? I don't mind the travel I have to do. The biggest travelling I have to do is when we have to be on site in Cornwall to help out. But I've not done that for so long now. I can do most things remotely. I can just connect into the servers and do a lot of stuff I need to. And we have a pretty competent guy on site that will do a lot of the physical things for us. He's not an IT guy. He just knows a bit of IT. Their actual IT guy in Cornwall left after disagreements with the acquisition, which was unfortunate because he was quite an intelligent guy. He set their entire infrastructure up, but he just didn't. Something about the acquisition didn't sit with him, so he left. So We're kind of the unofficial official support for that site now, alongside our kind of liaison guy on site. Yeah, it's been cool seeing new places. Awesome. I like travelling. I like seeing new places. I think that's okay there. Yeah, we've only got offices South Coast, Cornwall and the Midlands in England. But the thing in Scotland, Ireland or Wales, well, not that I know of. It's not on my scope, put it that way. And we've got our European offices. We got Portugal. I think we've got somewhere in Portugal. Not we've acquired, but we don't have to worry about the IT for. They're just owned by our parent company. So we don't have to worry about them. Well, not yet anyway. I think ideally they would be brought into our infrastructure so we can manage data better. But at the moment, data's being sent via third-party systems, and it's not something. They're still operating as a separate business. So we're good with that. We remote support our sites in Europe. We don't have on-site there. Okay. That's pretty cool. I do like having remote support. Australia, we have a semi-competent IT person. Cool. That's always good to have someone on site. Yeah. So the guy we have in Cornwall is pretty good. Like he knows things like sort of basic user management, SQL reporting, and stuff like that. But he's more operations with a little bit of IT, and that's his job. He's like operations manager. But if we say, hey, phone him up, could you check this or add permission for that to allow me to do something, and I'll carry on for you. And likewise, he'll send me something, say, well, I'm trying to do this, can you help me out? And I'll have a look and go, oh yeah, that's where you've just need to change that bit there, and you're off and you go. So that's a pretty good arrangement. Let's make a new one. Let's call this gem underscore green, of course. The red gems fit well here. Interested to see the different colours. Yeah, the red was my first thought of colour, but I would like to have like a rainbow of colours. So I would like to represent like different elemental magics within the game, and maybe the gems can kind of help represent that. If they don't work, it doesn't work. It's not a key. A key definite for the game to work. We'll do a bit darker. Probably something along those lines. I probably should have copied over the metallics and all that. But the ideal thing would have been just, can you duplicate? Probably would be duplicate the material and just change the colour. That would be the easiest thing to do. Let's rename this so I'm not confused as well. So why does it say red gem, green gem? No, it's because its name is red. Okay, man. Well, I need to head out and walk the dog. Enjoy your evening. Thank you, Carl. Thank you for popping in. Thank you for the sub as well. So I'll be doing Blender stuff every Wednesday, so you're more than welcome to pop back then. And I do Unity stuff on Fridays. But I hope you enjoy the rest of your week. Enjoy your dog walk, and I shall see you soon. I won't be on for much longer. I just want to get these gems coloured, and then I'll sign off. Yeah, thank you for being here, dude. That's new material. One thing I could probably do. No worries, man. We'll pop back for sure. Awesome. See you then. One thing I could do is use a good old snipping tool. Do it the long way until I find out a better way. One 40 and that is not oops, 0.713. That's the same, that's the same. Roughness I put down to 0.14. Sheen I put up to 1. That's 0.5. Clear coat 0.299. That's the same. That's all the same. Cool. There we go. Looks a nice shiny green gem. Go gem blue. That's the kind of colour I want, but we'll do a quick check. So Blender, copy material. You can either link or duplicate a link in material means it changes the original. Back to that. And copies, duplicating it. You can link materials using L, Control L, or you can copy materials to others Option special menu, duplicate, press the plus key next to the button next to the material in the material properties. It doesn't tell me a lot of stuff. No objects. No. How do you do duplicate? Copy materials from anywhere. Yeah, let's do it the long way. Be quicker. Quicker to do it the long way. Trump likes our trees. He wants to take them. He said in an interview. What? Trump wants to bring some Dutch trees. Bring home some Dutch trees. I think quite a few people would like to bring home some Dutch trees, but not the trees he's probably thinking of. Metallic 0.713. Spectacular. Squint roughness 0.14. Sheen is 1. Sheen tint clear coat 0.299. Cool. Should be not as well. Cool. Got a red, a blue, and a green now. We can of course swap these over as we need to. Don't have to be in this order. So the blue represents, at least one of the blues can represent water, red will represent fire, and green will represent nature. So what other elements do I have? Don't necessarily want to do rock because rock is already part of this anyway. Electricity, lightning. Need a yellow one. As new material. Yellow gem. So that's that. Metallic 0.713. Roughness 0.114. Sheen is 1. Clear coat 0.299. Roughness is 0. That's fine, that's fine, that's fine, that's fine. Cool. I have to bring up my notes as to what they are, and then I can probably decide really what order the colours go in. I do like having the red at the top, because it's a very prominent colour, it kind of stands out. So a quick look at my notes on what what are my elements? Fire, water, nature, air. Air's kind of like a whitey colour, I suppose. Rock, metal, earth. Earth's a brown, I suppose. Ice would be like a lighter blue. Moon, sun, electric. So metal could be kind of just like a metallic looking one. We've got air. Air could be white. I suppose we can go for a white one for air. We do have ice as well. Ice would be a light blue. Let's go for white. Let's go for new material. Gem white. Now we could make it off white so it's not just straight white, but still free for Black Sabbath, by the way. Should be. When's it actually on? I think I've got it in my diary. The 5th. Cool. Yep, nothing's on at the 5th. Hope it works when I get one of those black screens, yeah. If it doesn't, that's okay. Someone's bound to have ripped it and took it on a torrent I can watch later on. I'll make a note in my diary. The 5th. Cool. That's in there. In the diary. Let's make sure the metallic 0.713. Roughness 0.114. Sheen is 1. Clear coat 0.299. Clear coat roughness is 0. And that one's everything. And just delete the red. Doesn't stand out as much. Maybe I need to put something around the gems. Maybe like a an inset border, maybe. So maybe if I make sockets in the stone. So if the gem were to fall out, it would leave like a socket where the gem would be. Maybe that'll make it stand out more if I actually make sockets for the gems to go into. Maybe there could be like a metal of some sort. Because the colours kind of pop, but the lighter colours like the yellow and the white can be very easily lost in this stone texture. So what's my other... So we've got fire, water, nature, air, electric. My other options for elements are rock, metal, earth, ice, moon and sun. So rock is going to be hard to display unless I go for like an obsidian type rock. Whereas like a dark glass like, that's more akin to kind of volcanic stuff. Metal, if I go for like a grey, like a really shiny grey, I could do metal. Unless I don't do the elements and just do colours. Let's just go for 7 different colours. In which case I can go for a purple and an orange as the last 2. So the orange could be the sun, the purple could be the moon. That could work. Could go purple and orange. If I don't like it, I can change it. Let's go for purple and orange. And that's your primary and secondary colours then. Oh, excuse me. Purple. Orange. So the purple one, let's go for new material. Gem_purple. Do the same over here. New material. Gem_orange. Remove the red from that. Remove the red from that. Like a darker colour. Not too blue, but we want it. And for the orange, cool. Let's apply the modifiers. Metallic 0.713. Roughness 0.115. 4, Sheen 1, Clear Coat 0.299, Clear Coat Roughness 0, Metallic 0.713, Roughness 0.114, Sheen 1, Clear Coat 0.299, Clear Coat Roughness 0. So that is all of the gems. Maybe I changed the white one for another colour, but at this point I've got all the basic colours. Gotta go now, I'm very tired. Okie dokie, have a good night. Thank you, Lisa. Hope you have a good rest. I'm gonna wrap up the stream pretty much now anyway. Have a rest of the week. Yes indeed, I'll be back on Friday. Still selling emotes. Sell the best emotes. But yeah, I'm happy to leave it there for now. Much more thinking to do. But it's nearly 11 PM here. I need to get some rest myself. But hope everyone has a fantastic rest of the week. Have a good rest, have a good night. I'll be back on Friday with some Unity, working on Revolt Overthrow, and I'll be back doing this more of this Stonegate stuff on Blender next Wednesday. And Monday will be Minecraft. So we'll see you all then. But have a good night. Thank you for being here. Thank you, Jeffrey. Thank you, Lisa. Thank you, Carl. Thank you, E. And everyone who's been lurking, I see you there. Thank you very much. Have a good week, and I'll see you all on Friday. Good night.